Ooh, that's snazzy. Romhack Races, Week 196, Afterlife Memories by FYRE150. I'm fine with that. You're not going to get me not being fine with that. The things you do for yourself are gone. When you are gone, the things you do for your others remain as your legacy. Huh. That's a thought. I like the double quotes. I'd also like to point out, whenever I do contest judging, I always put the person's name as Anonymous Cowherd because of Slashdot. Where everyone on Slashdot was Anonymous Coward until otherwise registered. Speaking of Chrono Trigger music, worse than Nathan? I can live with that. Is he ever going to finish with My Little Puzzles? Because I feel like he's been on My Little Puzzles for like months. I need to do this right. It's not like there's... Okay, maybe there is a little more leeway there than I thought. You finished it yesterday? Well, congratulations there. In order for him. Holy cow. Like, that is an undertaking, my understanding. Okay, I gotta crack that and go down quickly. Called him a twat. I'm sure that was the best reward he could have gotten. Okay. I think I see what I want to do there. The beautiful thing about Romhack Races is the levels are generally kind of still readable, even if you're not doing great. We'll see if this level jives with me. Sometimes they don't. But we'll give it a shot for a little while. Plus, good Chrono Trigger music. You can't deny that. Though, things I would do... Bragging about having sex and breaking the bed? No. After I raid someone, I pretty much stick around for, like, a little bit of time. But it's also, as you know, hella late. So I usually listen for a little bit and then go to bed. My non-broken bed. Almost. Think your title should be Romhack Not Racing? I've been told by the Romhack race organizer, formerly known as Dr. No, whose current name escapes me, unfortunately, that they loved this title, so I'm sticking with it. I need to lean out a bit first. Stay 5 to 15. That's about right. Like, typically what ends up happening is I have a couple of, like, bookkeeping tasks to finish up after a stream. And then I, BD, that's correct. BD, thank you. It just completely slipping my mind. I also know that BD doesn't care that much about people using their old name. So... where was my brain? Bookkeep class don't include... I'm going to sit down and make a spreadsheet of things I should be doing. And to try to start burning it down. Currently, like, the one that's been sitting there for way too long is finishing up the swapper. Which has been kind of sitting there since April. Which isn't ideal. But yeah, like, bookkeeping, brush my teeth, and then I turn it off, maybe do a little bit of reading and go to bed. That's one of the reasons I like raiding, like, Desi, because Desi knows I'm literally just going to come in, say hi, and then leave, and he doesn't care. More lists. Marinate more. Having lists is a good way to be organized. Knowing what you need to do helps you know what you need to do. Wait, what am I doing? Lists and spreadsheets, bro. You know this. The world runs on spreadsheets and lists. You're off to bed? Alright, sleep well, Joed. See you later. I almost missed that message because I was so busy ranting about lists and spreadsheets. Dang it, I didn't do that right. Spreadsheets. Subhawaluta. Do you have lists of lists to keep track of where my lists are? I did have a spreadsheet of spreadsheets to keep track of where my spreadsheets were. But that's when I wrote a puzzle management system that used spreadsheets as the backing store for the data. So, yeah, I have had lists of lists. I'm also lazy when it comes to data types frequently. Like, I'll have dictionaries of dictionaries and lists and lists and lists. Like, there's some cases where I'm like, oh, I should probably make, like, a proper type for this. I'm not going to do that. Any database using spreadsheets is no database. I mean, yeah. But the thing is that my thing it's using as a backing store works very well because I can edit it. Since it's a friggin' spreadsheet. And for puzzle management stuff, like, there's an awful lot of metadata that frequently needs to be handled, and I don't really need to write a front end to update that metadata. I can just, you know, put it in the spreadsheet. Especially for puzzle boat style events. So for some puzzle events, like Codex has a gigantic thing. Basically every puzzle hunting team has their own sort of management system. If you're like a Microsoft puzzle hunter and you don't have to worry about remote people, you basically like, the way we used to do it was we would just put puzzles that were unsolved in a certain spot and put puzzles that were solved, like pin them up to the wall. Because at Microsoft, all of the conference room walls were put up with stuff so you could just like put thumbtacks in them. Or there was a wall that was a thumbtack style wall and it wasn't a problem. But as time goes on, you generally need to be able to organize your data a little bit better. And we, for puzzle boat events specifically, need to keep track of which puzzles go with which metas, because unlike a more standard event, you don't know. So like Microsoft Puzzle or Intern Puzzle Hunt, usually there was only one meta at a time, so you didn't have to worry too much about that. Spreadsheet, you were at a conference all about KQL? What the hell's KQL? Notepad isn't a spreadsheet? It wants to be. It really wants to be. I mean, theoretically, with an awful lot of work, I could probably make a backing store that is typing into Notepad, but for the love of God, why? Guess I could also turn on my god-awful TTS bot that uses a bunch of Windows APIs to do some ridiculous stuff. Oh wait, no, it doesn't do that anymore, does it? No, I found a command line version that I could invoke, and it's not nearly as bad. Yeah. One of my first TTSs was this one I was using while playing Broken Reality, and it used the sound chip, an emulated version of the sound chip, that powered the Intellivision sound enhancement thingy, which most people probably best know from the Angry Video Game Nerds video on the Intellivision. That goes, B-17 Bomber! Yeah, it turns out by default it doesn't sound that good. It actually takes a lot of work to make it sound that good. Whereas the, like, crack the code sounds a lot more like what that sounds by default. Ah, dang, I didn't do the regrep right. Check it out, looks like Flash. Best training website ever. Oh boy, powered by AMD. It's a detective agency. Ooh. I'd drive you on the team. This place looks like you use some new blood. The website uses cookies. Okay, go to inbox. I feel like I've seen this website like millions of years ago. God, okay. This looks ridiculous. I'll have to check this out afterwards. Does remind me of my CTFing days. There were some people put a lot of work into their like CTF websites and infrastructures and things, and now like I think everyone just uses the same thing to run it. A bit like how for the MIT Puzzle Hunt, unless you have severe needs, most people just use the there's like a puzzle runner Python thing most people use. It's always funny to me how, like, badly it gets off at the very beginning. Like, when it launches, everyone's pressing F5 to no end, but, like, back in the day, they used to have these crummy PHP things, or just Apache with HT index, And those could stand the sort of slash stunning they got back in the day. But these flippin' modern websites can't. Sponsored by Microsoft? Of course it is. Then it should be using Silverlight, or Silver Lake? What's it even called? Silverlight. Hilariously enough, I did actually write a few things in Silverlight back in the day. It looked briefly like it could have been the future, and it really wasn't. You know, in retrospect, I probably should have done something there. Maybe I'll pause and take a look. Oop. Okay. Ah, the note block. I missed the note block. And then I think I want to land on the P-switch to switch my jump type. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Webcams your dad set up requires Silverlight to view the feed. Wow. Sup, Goose? Silverlight was awesome and you'll start Wars. Silverlight was great. It was WPF. It was C# in the browser. In an era where basically your two options were ActionScript, which is JavaScript but worse, or JavaScript, which is JavaScript but worse, Silverlight presented a much nicer alternative. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way because assorted consortiums got, you know, out of the way and finally started moving web standards forward in a way that made... Thank you for the follow? I shouldn't be confused by that, it occurs to me. But thank you for the follow. I just realized it probably didn't hook up properly, which is weird. Yeah, so an SNES game. Do that properly. Have the actual proper alert proc. Okay, fair enough, it doesn't work. And killed layer 3. Anyway, usually that says thank you for the follow in the game, but we have layer 3 happening, so no. Oh well. You say webcams but security cameras in the office? Huh. And they're still using that? Like there's not like a different way you could do it? Anyway, I'm still miffed over the death of Flash, to be completely honest. I don't think that they ever really considered what they needed to replace, and nothing really has replaced it. Like, I think I was reminiscing a couple days ago about the Dough Burritos Flash game. And like, there's nothing that quite captures the ability to make a quick and easy game that way, except maybe Unity Player, maybe? Or maybe Godot that compiles to JavaScript or something. But that took an extra, what, 10 years after we killed Flash. And it's still probably not as quick and as convenient to make a silly little branded game than Flash ever was. Oh, I think I needed to throw that up in the air. Maybe. Misread that. Nice thing is, because I'm not racing, in the event that I'm like, wait, how does this work? I can always go check someone's VOD. And if I get tired, I'll just, you know, move along. But yeah, there were two things, as far as I can remember, that I ever wrote in Silverlight. One of which was, like, the standard thing I did for a while whenever given access to a programming environment. Which is to say, I would port the 2006 ICFP problem to it. So I'd get the so I got that working properly. Because that needed, like, a shell environment, kind of. Like, you really wanted to be able to do reading text and things. I ended up, you know, using WPF to make kind of a thing that did that and kept track of your solutions and things. It was kind of fun. The other thing I wrote was a puzzle for a Microsoft Intern Puzzle Day. Because I kind of wanted to do something kind of mazy. And at the time I was obsessed, probably is the wrong word, but I was really enjoying this one dude's website called Logic Mazes. The basic idea is that mazes don't have to be friggin' boring. Like your placemat mazes. Oh, maybe that's it. You jump down. Okay. Like, mazes can be more than that. And so he often made mazes that had weird rules, like the no left turn mazes, which is a not uncommon affliction amongst people who are first learning to drive. They don't really want to make left turns, because left turns are complicated. They're hard. You have to do a lot more work than making a right turn. He had a bureaucratic maze, which was really cute. But so basically the state of the maze, where you were, was encoded as a combination of which form you were holding and which desk you went to. And anytime you went to a desk, they'd give you an option to go to like 2 other desks with a given piece of paper that explained where you had come from, I guess is really what it was. Surprisingly, despite the fact that such a maze was only like 3 or 4 nodes in size, or 4 or 5 nodes in size, you could actually have a surprisingly difficult puzzle to solve. I think for one of the... They did that as a registration gimmick for some puzzle event that was held around Google at one point. Though I forget which. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to throw that or renormalize my jumps. Because, like, I need to renormalize my jump if I want to land on that extra Koopa. FYRE's design sensibility, along with the way that Romhack Races levels work, makes me believe that there's not going to be a superfluous Koopa that I could jump on. FYRE is a fastidious person, and Romhack Races has really good testers. So typically I would assume that the P-switch and its timer are part of the future obstacle I can see there with the Buzzy Beetle. So I think what I'm supposed to do is hit the P-switch and renormalize my jump. Something like this. Oh. Well, I figured it out at least. I know what to do now. I wonder if that was actually on screen. I could have seen it. I just got greedy. It's true. It's truly a mashup culture. Especially when you consider the graphics could come from anywhere, the music could come from anywhere, they could place the sound effects, the characters, anything, whole 9 yards. How you doing, Xander Martin? Appropriate, I suppose, given our other stuff we've done this evening. The no-face. I mean, basically, any level that uses the crumbly blocks, I should just assume I'm gonna get got. Also, some of these ports are really damn good. There's some... Oh, sup, FYRE? How you doing? We were discussing earlier sometimes that, like, YouTube will pick up copy strikes on these things. So, like, Undertale music and Deltarune music, 100%, will get caught up as copy strike things on YouTube. And I've come across a bunch of other random ones, like the Amazon from the NES version of DuckTales. What was the other ones? There's a bunch. Battle on the Big Bridge almost any time. Like, Squaresoft is aggressive on that one. Half asleep watching fair. Need to make the level more haunted. Now we just need to find some pipes. I just have to find some pipes. I have to find the pipes! But yeah, I find it a beautiful thing, just how much of a mashup culture it is. And some people like to guard their resources really carefully, but I find it so silly. Especially once, like, I'm mad at you because you stole the graphics that I... Oh, come on, I one-framed it, no! Whoops. Oh, I do have a question, actually, Fire, if you're more than half awake. I swear I was going to tune in and watch someone who was playing Reverie, and I saw something that I didn't recall. Is there actually more puzzle stuff in the newest like the new update that's sitting there waiting, Blue Ribbon, to finish it? How was Fugue? Yeah, it was fun. It was surprising. Like, I didn't know what to expect going in, but I really didn't end up enjoying it. I'm still a little bit curious to see if I missed anything, but I felt like I found one minor defect, but felt otherwise it was probably fine to ship. Otherwise, I might have. Depends on what I saw. That does depend on it, doesn't it? Basically, I'm asking, should I bother going back and taking another look? I love Reverie. If there's something new, I do kind of want to see it. And play it. And figure it out. This did look new to me. I did it again! I'm gonna add some clarity. Clarity also says an odd thing was added? Okay. I get not wanting to let out, show your hand too much. But I might message you privately and ask more directly. Because, like, if there is a reason to go back and do another Reverie stream, I absolutely want to. But if, like, it's one silly thing, I might just, like, have fun with it offline and then move along. Oh, we do need more hacks like Reverie. Reverie's awesome. There's only one Reverie. There's a reason to go back. Okay, cool. I guess second question, is my save file compatible with this reason to go back, or do I have to play the whole thing again? That also will change the calculus marginally for me. I really wish I hadn't gotten trolled. It's one of the worst things when you're doing like a Romhack race level, and you're like, oh yeah, I got trolled, it's fine, I can do it all again, it's easy, and then... No. You start making some of the same mistakes again, and somehow make new ones. Alright, well, that was a new one. Safety compatible? Lovely. Super Metroid hacks can overuse crumbly blocks ridiculously in some of their times. Some of their times do. Don't start you on Metriquarius, creator of X-Fusion X Factor here. Is that the one where they've someone ported over Metroid Fusion into an SNES game? Because I have wanted to play that. I love Metroid Fusion. I know as a Metroid game, it is a little bit linear, and the story is a little bit dumb. But I do have a good love for it, because I think it was probably like one of the first Metroidvania games I ever really completed. I don't know if I beat it first, or... No, I probably beat it before Super Metroid? I don't remember. I might have done beat Super Metroid first. That's why in my memory that's even fuzzier. Like in Z-SNES. In, like, 2000. Definitely remember the layout and important things in Fusion a lot better than Super. Like, for Super stuff, I have to wonder how much of it's my memory and how much of it's like, oh, I saw a speedrun not that long ago. I'm almost getting hungry. I actually ate a fair bit today. I got some leftover Indian that I got after the whole whiskey tasting thing last night because I needed some food. It was like, if I go to bed without eating, I'm just gonna have a miserable day the next day. be fair, I had a pretty decent day. Drank a lot of water. A lot of water. And got some food in me, and that helped a lot. But it was still way too much whiskey. I still have some left over. Some of the unselected sample bottles. I was also given a bottle as a payment for hosting, I suppose might be the right way to say it, but I think it was more gracious than that. An open bottle, so I've got like a third of it remaining. And I also have the god-awful mixture that is mostly the random rejected whiskeys that were all poured into a single glass. That I should probably approach with a fresh tongue just to see if it is still god-awful. I want to say one of the other dudes added some peated whiskey into it, and peat can cover up a magnitude of sins. And then I had salad. Just salad for dinner. Good salad, you know. Figured be marginally healthier. Come on, why can't I get anywhere? I'm just stuck right at the beginning again. You got to play right? Sounds like it. Save is compatible, though, with the new thing. So I may have to, like, pick a day after finishing Outer Wilds and give it a shot. Don't know if it's anytime soon. And actually go back and revisit my code that translates Reverie script now that I think about it. I don't know if I deleted that, or replaced it, or whatever. I don't even know if it's checked in, or if I just uncommented it. I don't remember a lot. Guess also CLDC is coming up soon. I imagine some people are gonna make some cool stuff for that, I hope. I'll definitely end up playing through CLDC, I'm pretty sure. Don't see any reason why I wouldn't at this point. But certainly some October stuff on my list. But I think that CLDC runs like through October and then ends like in the November time. I have to look. One of those, it might be like not ideal for specific things timing wise for me. I can't believe I... 3, jump. Okay. No, again. Oh, what else? I was rambling about Flash. I do gotta wonder, like, do they still make, like, tiny advert games? The way they did with Flash? Do they do them somewhere, and I just am not clued in enough about where? In all honesty, most websites now are so bizarrely corporate, even for brands that don't make any effing sense. It's like, let us tell you about investing in our brand. It's like, dude, you're Mountain Dew. You should be showing me pictures of people, like, snowboarding and having, like, I don't know, a snowboarding game on your website. Like, that's a thing that should happen. And in the past, that used to be the case. Like, you had these websites that had all this random crap on them that people would enjoy, and now, not so much. Like, why would you ever go to MountainDew.com? Whereas previously, when first using the internet, you had no idea what was on the internet. So you just type in random addresses and be like, well, Mountain Dew exists, let's go to MountainDew.com. I definitely went to Pepsi.com back as a kid, even though I don't even like Pepsi. Okay, I think I see what I did there wrong. One of those things I would love to find, I used to be able to at least find a reference to it on the internet, was there was on the website for, I'm pretty sure Pepsi.com, there was a stupid Flash game where you were a fridge on a skateboard, and you had to beat up ninjas. and it was an auto runner. It was very weird. It was called like Enter the Fridge. It was a takeoff of like, you know, Enter the Dragon. And I could never find an actual copy of this, but at least every once in a while, at least there used to be a PDF explaining the use of like games as an advertising medium, and this was counted as a success. Fusion X and Z Factor, generally two of the greatest hacks ever, but yeah, the use of Super Metroid's Columbia blocks is absolutely noxious. But Aquarius uses them to fill areas with unnecessary one-way paths for starters. Interesting. Yeah, my recollection in Metroid was I found that like crumbly blocks were generally just kind of annoying. So close. So close like 20 minutes ago. Bonk. But yeah, Google can't even find that document anymore because Google can't find anything anymore. Might have to, like, go someplace that has access to one of those academic search engines. If I ever want to see that again. Or find reference to it. Was also trying to, like, look up some stuff about how the money tree loot worked. It's another one of those weird things that could only have existed in the first .com era. Basic idea was that it was a big all... Sure can find stuff with a billion buzzwords crammed onto a page. It's really good at that. How you doing, that guy there? But yeah, it always bugs me when I'm like, I know this is still on the internet. I just don't think you're finding it for me because you just don't want to. The internet as it used to exist and as the way that PageRank made sense. Also want to point out, I didn't realize this at the time, PageRank isn't named PageRank because it was ranking pages. It's literally named after Larry Page. One of those, like, prescriptive names, I suppose. But anyway, or is it something language determinism, normative determinism, or something? Boop, 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 boop. Not again! I love doing one-frame jumps off that, but that is infuriating that it keeps happening. What's depressing is that, like, Google's secret sauce was, like, if you could devise a way to explain a given process, or to make a given process work in terms of useful, highly functional procedures, then they could massively paralyze it. Or parallelize it, not paralyze it. That's much worse. Okay, skip this one. Bonk. Okay. There we go. Okay, I think I need P-Speed for this, is really what the level's telling me. I'm okay being trolled with this now. Yes. It took a while to get back. But I absolutely did. I got real greedy. Took far too long to get back, in fact. Like, typically with Romhack Races levels, like, once you fail it once, it's not that hard to get back, but somehow this one... Okay, I need to move to the right faster there. The funny thing is, I think maybe had I known that this was a crumbling your problems away style level, I might have been like, maybe punt this for a later time. But alas, at least Chrono Trigger music. Let's go home and play Chrono Trigger. Oh, you have to come into there with a lot more velocity. That's another thing that was actually pretty ridiculous about Flash. Is people like just make dumb Flash animations. Like The Adventures of Paul Chung. Which was basically this one dude's like bizarre hate fic? I don't know. Of a real person. It was very strange. Kaizo Brain, every time you see an H or something, what's the... Yeah. The problem is that sometimes I don't catch it, and I'm like, ooh, shiny. Maybe because I play too much normal stuff. Standard stuff. This might end up being like a beat later thing. My thumb's starting to give me some grief. Like, that loop there is hard. X-Factor is generally easy enough for casual players, but X-Fusion can be brutally punishing a lot of times. It's generally not too hard in normal mode, but its hard mode is a total nightmare. I would totally believe that. I mean, to be fair, I would probably play in normal mode. I don't feel the need for a brutal difficulty. It would be way more of a, like, fun, nostalgia hack kind of thing. But I totally get it. I play Mario. I know people are like, I like Mario, but I want more difficulty Mario. And so, like, I get the idea of wanting additional challenge. But at the same time, like, hacks additional challenge can sometimes just be kind of BS. Okay, well, that's the next step there. To be fair, this was more of a problem back in the day before we really established what difficulties should be in better ways. I know it's still a little bit hand-wavy and bullshitty, but we certainly have a better notion of what we're looking for now than back in the day, which was like, yeah, can we beat it with tools? Is that good enough? Which was always funny when, like, some of the remoderation efforts happened, and people were like, oh yeah, that hack we previously thought was impossible? Oh, yeah, no. Do it. It's not that hard. People, to be fair, have also gotten a lot better. Like, a lot better. Over time. Oh. You have people out there who are like, you know what? I really just want to make Casio Mario the first hack that I beat. And then they do. You're like, bro. It's like saying, the first mountain I want to climb should be Everest. You could start with smaller ones, bro. No, Everest. Just gotta. K2, Everest, bam. That's why I'm starting my mountain climbing. Today, convention is if you have time to think before catching the H, you should think. Every time you see people being presented with an H, they can wait and grab. They're like, wait a second, it's okay. I mean, that makes sense. There's also, like, the troll side of things, because I did play part of one of OEO's levels. I mean, they're all OEO's levels. One level's in OEO's hack. Good old days recycle bin. What do I do now? I think I needed to keep P-speed there and jump again. Yeah, I didn't do that right. But frequently in troll levels, like, if you wait, something bad will happen. So there is always that in the back of my mind. Oh, right. Yeah, I still need P-speed. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, that's... Shit with dumb H-Trolls. It's fair. I mean, I think that in general, the H-Trolls stuff has kind of gone away to some extent. It's one of those, like, it's funny for everyone else kind of jokes. And honestly, I don't really like them. I find them to be a bit silly and punishing in a way that I find unfun. It's like, yeah, okay, I got it once. Haha, okay, you got me. I guess I have to do it again. Really funny, you filled my office with ants. And snakes. We've already had this opinion for a number of years now, that, like, I think that these end trolls and mid trolls just kind of get old. Unless it's something, like, really funny. Like, the exception to all things. If you actually manage it to be really funny. One of the reasons I actually like anti-trolls a bit better. Like, watching someone panic for half a minute and then, like, realize, oh, no, it's fine. I'd actually just completely fine. He's a lot funnier to me. But maybe it's the mom thing. Like it when it's coupled with mechanical level? Yeah. I mean, that makes more sense than some. There was one, Romhack Races one ages ago, where I think the end level troll idea was that, what was it? How'd this work? Basically, there was a fish, there was a thing that was coming at you, and it looked like there was a block above you, so if you hesitated, you would get killed. Or you hesitated that you'd be safe anyway. But it turns out that, of course, that sprite blocks don't block. So it was a kind of funny troll, if I remember right. Have I played Mario's Mystery? Surprisingly, no. For the longest time, I didn't have my stuff set up properly for doing, like, SA1 with all of the weird tech that I've been using. And then I never got back to it, bizarrely enough. Oh, I didn't even know what I was looking at. And that last one's real. It's one of those, like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I should just play that. It'd be fun. I've played a lot of other weird Mario hacks. I'm one of the perennial judges for QLDC. Stands for Questionable Level Design Contest. Just about half of the contests. It's a good time. I enjoy it. It's probably one of the nicest judging experiences. Reason being that you don't sit down and assign numbers to everybody. Like, basically, there's only really 2 questions. What were, like, your top 10-ish levels? And what levels do you think deserved awards? And those 2 ideas can easily overlap. In fact, the way I generally handle the does this deserve an award is come up with the name of the award that I would give this if I was going to give it an award. This level, this is not a QLDC, this is not a level design contest level. What would I give this one? You know, like one of those crystal trophies, but it's already cracked award. Sometimes I come up with better ones than that. Which means that sometimes Ampersand actually uses my ideas. So proud of the H-Troll you have for Aces. Oh god, it's been so long since I've played that level. I remember the level, I just don't remember what the H-Troll was. I want to say I actually beat that one when I was testing it. That was for a KLDC, like, many 8 moons ago. I don't know why I can't do that. Got the Bomberman Award? Maybe. Let's see. I can look this up. Bomberman Completionist Award was... Is that you? Different name. Oh my... Huh. Bomberman Completionist Award. The worst ones are, like, occasionally I'm like, okay, if this isn't disqualified, this is what I would give it. Right. They're pipes? Oh, okay. Most places this accounts for 22 you're doing grade change. Gotcha. Had a question mark block with a coin and a mushroom on top of it. An H on top of it. You're supposed to ignore it and just move on. Ow. Oh, right. No points, right? That was the gimmick level 2. You couldn't get any points, not just no coins. Getting the coin kills you? Yeah. I do like, because of the common use of, like, retry, typically just going through the pipe gets you the H now, and has for a long time. Like, I want to say Invictus. You don't need any of the H's except one of them for the entire game. You just get the H naturally by going on to the next room. Ooh, that was not the play. Oh, actually, we'll know how long I've been playing this, because I have that open. I've been at this for an hour and 17 minutes. Nervous Mystery is basically Mario Vacation version of Psychonauts. The gameplay is okay, but the story is going to be a masterpiece. The story is also a giant parody of Vine Sauce in its base. That's the thing, is I don't know much about Vine Sauce. Like, I think I saw some clips of it, and it's like... What's that guy's name? Mr. Dink from Doug becoming a chair? It was very inside baseball-y to me. Right. The older the build, the better. Messen 100% is a good emulator for types of ROM hacks. SNES X can be good if you're playing older stuff. There are some hacks out there that require ZSNES, but they're few and far between. And your odds of actually running across that, unless you're into esoterica, is fairly low. But some people really are. I got a bunch of suggestions of, like, random ROM hacks to look at from Anon, and I'm willing to bet, like, most of them require ZSNES to work properly. I think I need to keep P-speed there. Oh yeah, Messen's a fairly accurate, but also, like, just speedy emulator. Sour's put a lot of work into it. Hopefully he comes back at some point. SNES 9X is a good compromise. Especially if you're going to play older stuff. That's really where the question about what emulator it is. You can play it on it if you don't mind, like, sounding like a helicopter. The thing is, I do. I don't want helicopters in my games that aren't supposed to have helicopters. My Rufflecopter is supposed to go squoosh, squoosh, squoo, but only when I want to be flying in my Rufflecopter. What's also funny is some of the more accurate emulators also have, like, options to turn on badness. So, like, the sounding like a helicopter thing. There are some options in, like, not Messen, but, like, BSNES to enable the weird echo buffer stuff that used to be used for, like, some of the ad music stuff back in the day. But I'm playing on a real Super Nintendo, so I run into weirder issues usually. Not at all. Some addresses and shit actually crash. That's also true. Like, sometimes the ROM hacks make bad assumptions that it came from just testing on ZSNES and no one cared. The one I was pointing out today, because it was pertinent, is that there's correct timings for how you handle using the divider and multiplier on the Super Nintendo. Because the divider and the multiplier aren't really built into the CPU, they're sort of bolted on through memory mapped I/O ports. Which, classic way of doing this, there's nothing wrong with that. But it does mean that you cannot assume that after loading up your I/O ports that it will actually complete immediately. So you have to wait an appropriate number of cycles. Hopefully you can find something else to do with your time before you can read those results and trust that they actually have the correct thing in them, and I messed up. DSNES might ignore some addresses that it crashes, and SNES 9X is a custom ship, like music, old ad music, yeah. Understandable. But it's what people had. They wanted to add custom music, they used ad music. Like, that was the thing you could use. We understand things better now. That helps a lot. We have better tools. I'm getting rated. I know it doesn't say it, but I'm clearly getting rated based upon that picture. Good time to take a handbrake, I think. Oh my. Oh my. What's up, DJ Envy? How you doing? Like how you took the time to find a triangle. How was the stream? What were you up to? Hope it was something fun. Went and I moderated a newish hack, which was actually a lot of fun. The Fugue. New Pointless's new hack. And then, thanks. Interesting try. Interesting try, Max. And then played some Fortaleza Reznor, like Halloween levels, and then I ran out of those, so I picked a random Romhack Races level using my random Romhack Races level picker. Does the game sound like you opened Overwatch in Audacity, but it's a Roll20 every time you load to see if it crashes? I love it. I love it. Love the Romhack Races picker. I'm always happy to hear someone's using my stuff. Like, I love how that went. And I'm happy that, like, the Romhack Races website hasn't updated yet to break it. It'll happen one day. But that's probably like 3 years away from now, given the speed of these updates. I've been told it's coming soon for a number of years. And the day it does is the day all of my, like, regexes die. Because I'm pretty sure I'm still parsing that with regexes, because I'm a lazy man. Oh, I did switch from using regexes for parsing data from SW Central because there's been a big overhaul with how resource pages work. With ROMs or ROM hacks or resources, just don't question it too much. Blame Acklam if you have any questions. But there's actually a public API you could use to get all this information I was scraping via regexes. So just use the public API, it's great. Finished 96 exit jumpies. Oh, nice. Yes, I have heard of that one. I think I actually have that open somewhere. Maybe walkies. I may have walkies open somewhere, but I get the concept. I've suffered this sort of ASM, even if I haven't played it specifically from a specific person. Come on. Keep messing up that jump. This one's like the entire floor is sticky. Yep. I'm familiar with this. I'm trying to remember. Someone actually did this. I want to say Circle Friendo actually went and tested whether or not you could beat the... No, it wasn't sticky. It was sleepery. Where you have weird ice physics, but you're stuck to the floor. That was it. And apparently, sleepery with the ice physics. Don't ask me why this makes a difference. It does. Just trust me on this. Actually, you don't have to take my word for it. Let's load that one up. Why not? Should work. Shouldn't be a problem. See how it works in real time. Was it just slippery? Ah, there it is, sleepery. It was Circle Friendo. Cool, I found it. We can load arbitrary... Actually, this level... Ah! Okay, didn't expect that to happen. Yeah, you can see, like, you can't stop. That was the trick here. It's like, you cannot move except... You can't change your velocity except with jumping, and apparently you jump forward horribly. Yeah, that's how that works. Apparently, the game is beatable in this format. Don't ask me how. Let me unload Sleepery, because that's not going to make the level beatable. Yeah. Buzz looks like Amphibia and Zelda. It's great, but its fan base is horrendous. Talking about like the brain rotting, we have a popular chat room. Yeah, I have a general dislike of some fandoms, and sometimes it's kept me away from things that were legitimately good. Other times it's kept me away from things and I've been like, you know what? I think I'm happier having missed that. Like, I gave up on Homestuck a lot sooner than most people, and I think I'm happier for it. Nope. There we go. Perfect. Undertale was also one. Olga requested Undertale, and Deltarune, I had game requests still open, and that changed my mind a fair bit. I think the fandom's still not ideal for a lot of reasons. But the game is really good. The games are really good. I need to get to play the Chapter 3. Hey, GG, and thanks for playing. The credits are over there. Oh man, let's see. We got Testers, Baba Yaga, Beef Stew, Sequel Infection, RB Pimlico. That's a name I haven't seen in a long time. Darkenine, Kerr, and music by 6646. I don't think I've ever seen 6646. Fire and Kevin. 3 and 4 a peak. Yeah, I need to go play those. List's too long. Not starting anything new soon. I want to get to those before the end of the year, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. That was a fun level. I had a lot of trouble with the troll in that ending, but that was very satisfying to pull off. Finally, getting off of those tiles and making the jumps. Just wish I'd done so many one-frame jumps off of the P-switch to keep spinning. That never happens. It never happens. But alas.